If you want to give head, if you want to get head, give head. I'm saying this in your terms.
Yeah, if you want to get head, you have to give head. You can't just sit there. Like, women, stop laying on your backs and expecting everything to fucking happen. Like, go out there and make him happy, dude. Don't be like, oh no, it's disgusting. It's not fucking disgusting. Your face is fucking disgusting. Okay? Like,
if you're past a couple of dates, you need to not behave like a thirsty ass bitch. This is something that is a big...
I love that you said that.
Yes.
Don't behave like a thirsty ass bitch.
Yeah.
Mistress, or just misbehaved.
God, like, what was that, dude? Episode number 2, and we got like such high standards
already. And people we're taking so much content from people who are pushing it out there. Support your local guys. Support your fucking
The
local.
Misbehaved podcast, episode number 2. We've kind of gotten bed with each other in one episode and kind of got to know each other a little better. Like, I can tiptoe on you just a little bit now.
Just a little bit,
okay? But
especially when I turn around.
We're still getting into each other's minds and also talking about each other's panties, are we? I don't know if you want to talk about that. But what turns you on is what this episode is about. But before anything else, huge shout out to One Fret Away. Is that the name of the band? Yes, One Fret Away with my man Arwen. He has a big beard and he's kind of shy. He has like a man burner.
We've totally taken Arwen. We've taken Arwen and we've just like completely
put
music. Him out everywhere. Saying
yeah.
And he's just sitting there like, oh my God.
Yeah, like people are going to now just like, yeah. But musicians, I mean, music is something that turns people on, right?
Musicians turn me on.
I think they turn every woman on. Yeah. I mean, I think every guy wants to play a guitar or sing or, do something in the DJ
guy
business.
Should just be like a little bit of like M.A.G.M.A, James Keenan, and like a little bit of like Alex Turner.
And Freddie Mercury, just a little bit. I'm a fan. And maybe
like
some Bruno Mars.
But I wouldn't bone him. Like, I wouldn't bone.
What kind of music do you listen to? I mean, what turns you on? I really want to know what kind of music you listen to, man.
So for me, like, I need music that I can really like jive to. So I'm like a huge fan of like Afro pop and Afro house music.
Oh, nice.
I like African American culture, just like.
Do you twerk and pop and all that when you're listening in it?
I can't twerk. I wish I could. But I actually, you know what? I took up like a couple of burlesque classes.
Oh, burlesque? Seriously?
Yeah, and turns out I couldn't dance. But it was the best. Like, it makes you feel so good about yourself.
I think the whole point of burlesque
put on a great playlist.
Exactly.
We've shared our playlists also online. We're going to do number 2 of that because some people actually really liked what we shared and put it out there. So,
I mean, I'm a contemporary music sort of a person, right? I mean, I'm on a radio station that plays a lot of contemporary hits, from the 2000s. Well, but music before that was actually real music. So I'm exposed to a lot of that shit right now. But right now, what's on my playlist is... surprisingly, I'm back to Bruno Mars this entire lockdown for some reason. He has like uptown happy music, and I also am a huge Travis Scott fan. I'm a little bit of a Billie Eilish and Post Malone fan. I also like a good throwback to say I like the Eagles. I liked Aerosmith. I love
Aerosmith. Like Crazy by Aerosmith is my jam.
Yeah.
Like I can listen to it every day. I can have sex to it. I can eat to
Pink
it.
Floyd.
I can shit to it. I can do anything to just Crazy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, what's your kind of playlist when you're doing each other? Maybe you need to leave it as a comment here.
Follow my Spotify, guys. You'll find it there.
Follow us on this podcast on Spotify first. So the whole idea of this podcast that Jane, me, and P, thought about was kind of making conversations real around sex, dating, relationships. And if you didn't get that from our first podcast, I think we're a little more like bolder and pushing the edges today. Just a little bit more. We're
degrading is even more than we did. Shit's about to fucking get real. But before we get into it, a big shout out to Jekyll and Hyde that made our intro tune. Jekyll and Hyde is this new project started by my friend Jeff and Vishnu. They are making a lot of experimental music for people. Check out their Instagram page, their SoundCloud account. I'm not sure if they're on SoundCloud, but all their social media handles I will link below and you can check it out. They're also also into taking new projects from people. If they aren't, then I think it's time you start taking projects from people because I just advertised it. But Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde, big shout out. M.A.G.M.A Studios, big shout out. That song you heard, big shout out to all the local musicians and entrepreneurs and everybody who's having a tough time. We're all going through a tough time. It's like we're all getting fucked in the ass and not liking it right now.
Oh my god, this is the first time.
So we're talking about
I
what
have not
turns you on.
enjoyed this as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, man. This is just getting 2020 is getting out of hand. But we're going to keep things in the process. Today we're going to talk about, so you have kind of found somebody you like, and it could be old school, new school, whatever. How do you make sure that you nail it? How do you make sure you go to third base? How do you make sure you, seal the deal, so to speak? How do you keep the person interested?
But let's start off with talking about our first impression in men, because I feel like that's something we should do.
So, I'm really weird. I'm a different kind of a person because when it comes to, if you ask me what turns me on a man, I have two kinds of men. One in real life and one in, say, fiction. So I'm a hardcore romantic. I read a lot. I watch 365. And I'm going to talk about my obsession with the hottest man on the planet right now, Michele Morrone, 365. That sex scene at, I don't know, somewhere 1 hour into the movie, 365. Most talked about scene, people saying they had sex. Do you think they had sex?
No, I think he put a sock on it because she's married, no?
No, she's not. She's dating.
No,
she's married?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah.
He was married too and he's divorced.
But he's so hot.
He's hot.
I mean,
Girls
if she
don't care.
didn't do it, then fuck her.
He's at
she doesn't
around
know what she missed out
9
on.
million followers
Probably.
right now. But no, I think I don't know what happened there, but all I can say is that this guy is so hot that women don't care. The way he just fucks this girl in this movie, 365 is child's play. 50 Shades is child's play, is what I've heard. What I think as well.
50 Shades, I think as a book was better than the movie.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan, and I like Dakota Johnson.
I like Dakota Johnson.
But I did not like Jamie Dornan.
Aspect. Actually, you know what I loved about that movie was the playlist that came with it. Because there was a little bit of Sia, there was The Weeknd, there was Annie Lennox, there was
a lot of really nice songs that kept you on the edge. The music was amazing, but
there was a track from the Beatles as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember. I was too busy watching the scenes. That was one thing there were more sex scenes in the book than in the books than in the.
Got a sense of that shit.
But that's where 365 on Netflix. I think Netflix and Amazon Prime and everybody's got this figured. It's either murder, mystery, or sex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
like a lot of sex, and this one
a
has
lot of sex. Everybody wants to watch a lot of sex and have a lot of sex.
Are you guys having? I think people are watching people have sex more today because they're on the couch all the time during this COVID crisis.
You're alone at home right now, and you're watching other people get it on,
and you're enjoying it, and you're like, wow, more
and you're
content.
crying after you're done enjoying it because you're
eating tubs of ice cream. What are you doing?
I actually know a guy who cries when he masturbates. He's
Why?
Just,
so
I don't
overwhelmed.
know, but he's so open about it. He's like, dude, every time I masturbate, it's just too much of a feeling for me.
What about sex? When he's having sex?
He's never told me about that, but he told me he masturbates when he cries, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Shit! But if he's doing a girl and he's crying, I don't know. She's gonna definitely think he's gonna wanna put a ring on her because people don't. I once heard of this guy who this is a very interesting story.
Yeah.
So he is he's met this girl for the first time and he's a friend's friend. And he's hooked up with her, and the next morning he's telling us, the first thing she's telling me rather, not him, that he wants to marry her and already be with her, and he's just getting emotional. The first fucking date. First time they slept together.
Yeah, that's
so it can be needy women and men, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Do you find needy people, men?
I'm just trying not to talk about it because I'm one of those needy women, and I'm just like,
oh shit!
No,
you know what? Everybody is. I'm
everyone.
Cool.
I think everyone has that level of crazy in them. I've dated a guy and fallen head over heels in love with him for in less than a week, and that's happened. And it's not because I'm on a rebound, because I was single for a really long time before that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
think it
just
happens. I genuinely like this guy.
Yeah. And what happened? What? Okay. So that brings me to
my box of tissues. What happened?
Let's get you to the good stuff. What turns you on about a man?
So, of course, besides your personality and all of that, I already have my traits. I think let's get real. I really like taller men because I'm 5'10", and I like to be in heels, even though I love my sneakers, and you'll see me in kicks 90% of the time.
Almost all the time.
Yeah, almost all the time. But I do like a much taller man who's a lot more built. So here's the thing: I don't really like fit men. You know, so
Really?
if you're like, if you've got that like
8
tone,
packs and
I don't
completely.
I
See,
don't
it's
like
nice
that
to. So
shit,
I have
no.
I have a point of view on that. It's like M.A.G.M.A.
Yeah.
Like I said, the men I'm attracted to. In
I want to
fiction format.
smell those guys. I don't want to
wanna-
actually.
Yeah, I
want
to watch them. I don't think I'd ever want.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I want a real man, which is what I was getting at.
Look at Arwen. Arwen's just like, oh my god.
Arwen's like happy. Yeah, I mean, it's.
I
it's
can't.
just,
Like, I like a guy with a little bit of like a tummy, and like I like to be squished and squeezed. And I'd rather date like a thicker guy than like a skinny, bony. And nah, that's just not my type. I'm not body shaming anybody. For the love of God, please don't come after me. But my preference for men in general is.
Do you know there's a theory to this?
What?
Okay, so the theory to this is when you're really, it depends on your body type. Like I'm large, right? And I've always been with men who like large women.
Yeah.
Because they like petite women, they're not into me any which
Yeah.
ways. I've always realized when you are something and you're not comfortable in your skin, say I'm large and I was never comfortable with it. If that was the case, I would just not attract the right sort of men. Once I'm comfortable, there might be just one guy amidst 100 who likes thick women, but that's the one guy I want. I don't want, everybody to like me. And I think we're in an age where we want to please everybody. Everybody wants to look like a Kardashian or a Jenner,
though.
right?
That's like a constant. Like everyone wants to look like a Kardashian, but let's face it, we
Or
don't
like
have
cheap-ass
enough money to
versions.
do that. Okay.
Yeah, if you had $1 billion, we'd all get surgery.
If I had $1 billion, I'd just have a daughter that I could make just to say hi, bye for my Instagram. Like, I
Stormy.
have no other purpose.
Reference to Stormy out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean,
a billionaire makeup mogul who
I'm
has
not
like
shitting on children, please. Okay?
Yeah, I love children, man. I love kids. And I think any of you who are into that, now that is really shit. You gotta get your mind checked because Pizzagate, I don't know how many of you know about this scandal, but it's just shit. I don't know who's
What
involved in
scandal are you
this.
talking about?
Pizzagate is basically like a couple of people in the world who are into kids, and
Yeah.
there's a whole conspiracy theory that, whether Illuminati or whatever shit is trying to promote. They basically make people huge stars by having them sign a deal with the devil by doing something unspeakable with a child, for example. Hold that video
So
with
every
them.
Catholic priest, basically.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
I'm Catholic and I enjoy that. It's all right. I mean,
No,
there's an actual movie on it. There's an actual movie on it, which is kind of cool. I forgot the name. But
Arwen has a tattoo on his hand, by the way, that says God hates us all. So,
yeah. So, no, what I was just
which
trying
is
to...
awesome, though. I give him like counterpoints for that.
We got so carried away talking about M.A.G.M.A and Pax,
Yeah,
and we just
I
got out of
forget
it.
every time we talk about that hot guy. I forget who I am.
But the purpose of this podcast is...
Oh shit.
What is it? It is to tell you, take down notes because we're going to tell both men and women, girls and boys.
So in our first episode, we basically talked about dating in the 21st century, and now we're looking into telling you how to keep a guy interested, right?
Yeah.
So like Jane said, grab a pen, grab a notebook, classes in fucking session right now.
Okay, so here's a little bit that we're going to talk about. If you're past a couple of dates, you need to not behave like a thirsty ass bitch. This is something that is a big...
I love that you said that.
Yes.
Don't behave like
Yeah.
a thirsty ass bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about having sex on the first date. See, it works for some. It's worked for me. I'm in a relationship where that's how it was. And I'm okay about talking about it because it just happened, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are different rules for everybody, but don't you think that it has to be two-sided?
Absolutely,
That sort
yeah.
of combustion happens. Has that happened to you? Like a one-night stand that's turned into a relationship?
Yeah.
So it's all right, right?
It did, yeah.
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay to fall like fully in lust and love with someone.
Like my one night stand, I was so like head over heels after the guy, and then I left the country for a while because I was traveling, and I was like out of the country traveling for a bit, and then I came back and I just saw him, and I was like, oh, I have so much feels for you, baby.
Did you just baby him?
Huh?
You babied him? Must have been...
Right now I need to baby him because we're not taking any names, like we're not going to throw you guys
absolutely.
out on the line.
Yeah, not
But
at all.
these feelings are very true, okay?
Whosoever stories we share or even our own stories, there's absolutely no malice. We love everybody who's been a part of our lives. They've made us who we are. And if you're
Absolutely.
bitter about exes, maybe, you don't want to talk to somebody, you don't want to open like a can of worms, but we'd still say respect the people.
We'll have another
and
episode where we
situations.
shit on the ex, okay? Guys, come back in for like episode episode number 10 or something.
I mean, I would say, I would differ there because I would say don't shit on your exes. But if you want to get it out, just like P wants to, get
call
it
your
off her chest.
call your girls and shit on whoever you want to shit on.
Yeah, so that's something. So you think, what is the ideal time for somebody to, like?
So some people say it's 3 dates and then some people say it's 7. But I think if you're hooking up with people online and you're meeting these people on Tinder and whatever, and you want to say not have a relationship as such, but see where it goes. If you're in that phase of you want to actually properly date, I'd say go on 4 to 5 dates of over like a span of 40 days. Right? Because you don't want to give him access to your pussy before you're ready to do that. Because otherwise you're just gonna be the next chick in bed, right? Because you're number 41 or 47 after that.
No, but a different point here is you can be number 47, number 51. I'm in my 30s, right? And you can be number whatever of that person. But as long as, you've kind of...
if you're dating and trying to get to know them better.
Yes, exactly. But if you already know somebody and if you've been in a relationship with somebody, even then keep the excitement and all the action alive.
So if you're really, really into getting to want to know this guy, right? So wait out in a span of 40 days before you give him any sort of access. In that time, you need to work super hard on your own confidence and getting to know if he's really worth the wait or he's just another lay. Right? If he's just another lay, then you know what? Go out.
Big question here. Do men really wait for 40 fucking dates? I've heard of 50
people
first
do.
dates.
No, there are some really stand-up guys that do,
You think we should ultimately marry men like that who really want to wait and who want to understand you? Do men like that exist anymore?
They do. They actually do.
Really? Okay, Arwen's putting up his hand.
He's like,
yeah.
I want to wine her and dine her and respect
and love her and respect her.
And
maybe
10, 40 days later,
maybe the rules have changed, right? Maybe marriage
cuddle.
is not the ultimate goal these days. I mean, there are the good stand-up guys and girls who want to be in the relationship and maybe not put it on paper or technically get married for the sake of society. I mean, that is a personal preference. But I think there are guys and there are still girls who want to be with you for the long run. And even if you've spontaneously combusted and had, a one-night stand the first time you've met, not a one-night stand. I mean, you've done each other the first time. There's a possibility of it growing, but give it, I think, to date someone, at least, if not, have them as a hookup option. 40 days.
There's a difference between when you're dating and when you're in like a full-fledged relationship. So if you're in that dating phase, give it 40 days. 40 days will give you enough time to get like a certain amount of perspective, right?
If you're in a relationship, 40 minutes.
If you're in a relationship, like...
or 40 seconds,
we shouldn't
whatever.
Be talking about this right now. Let's just take our clothes off.
Yeah, let's just do it. But not do it that often that, you get bored.
Yeah.
And we'll, what turns... I know you're not going to be, I don't know what's your contribution in this, but with respect to turning on a partner you've been with for so long, I think you need to start talking about fetishes. You need to talk about your deepest peeves, personal peeves. Like, I would never judge somebody in any relationship based on what sort of fetishes they have. Like, what turns you on in a man?
Personally, I'm really into like a guy's legs. Or like his calves, for instance, right? Like, so if you have long, great legs, it doesn't even have to be like so fucking toned. Like, I don't even care if you go to a gym or not.
Just muscle there.
Just like nice. It has to have a good shape. Like, I'm so into calves.
Have you dated footballers? Because they usually have nice calves.
I've never dated a footballer.
Yeah.
I've never actually dated. So I have that thing. I just don't like to date men in sports. Like,
Why?
I would never date a golfer.
Why?
I mean, athletes all the fucking way, but I just have a thing. I would not date like
I haven't dated a sports person, so I can't
I
say, but I would love
haven't.
to. I mean, I'd love to be Anushka Sharma for one day. I want to know what Virat Kohli is like.
Yeah.
Internationally, I'd like to know what Lionel Messi is like. Honestly, I'm a big fan. And he has nice calf muscles. So, okay, back to the topic. You're saying what turns you on is calves.
I mean, honestly, if I had to love someone, I'd love like Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal has my heart forever.
And he's so cute.
I fucking love Shaquille O'Neal.
So this big daddy.
The big daddy.
The big daddy,
exactly.
yeah.
I like the big
Do you like,
daddy.
okay, do you think we're like, okay, we can't compare ourselves because there's no comparison, but like Shaquille O'Neal and Snoop Dogg in the house. You like the
I'd want
combination?
to actually
It's so
make
cute.
Snoop like a buddy. Like, I'd like Snoop like a chill buddy. Like, someone who I could chill
with.
Because I know Snoop will just give me perspective into like
And he'd
deeper
keep
things.
us high all the fucking time. How amazing would that be, man?
But I think Shaq is like more of a...
like this big guy with a
Yeah.
big heart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what turns, women on with respect to men? And this has to be said, at least, I don't know if I want to bring a South Indian, North Indian angle to this, but at least as far as I'm concerned, if a man, I mean, I'm not talking about dating alone, I'm just talking about how we like men in general, even as friends or people to hang out with and recommend to our single girlfriends, like this situation here, is I would say, have interests and go beyond this fucking phone. I mean, I am on Insta Reels right now and I am doing this shit.
Meet people,
Yes.
fall in love.
Read, make music, make love, make art, have a passion, be consumed by it, and have something that defines you as a person beyond your job.
I really want to share this, but I think one of my biggest fantasy fetishes ever is to get a massive canvas or a white a cloth or something of that sort. Just cover myself in paint and cover the dude in paint.
Wow.
And then just fuck on the canvas, right?
You've seen that song, right? Somebody that I used to know.
Yeah.
Gaudier. They have themselves painted in symmetrical
Copyright.
bits.
We don't own the song.
Yeah, I just love that song though.
No, but I get that. I'd love to just paint myself, cover myself, and then hang that in my living room so my parents can come home and be like, what did you do?
Back to 365. That's what
my kid will be like, what is that? And I'm
that's
how
what
you were made. Let's put that out there.
That's what Michelle and Moroni does. In that movie, he's so narcissistic, which is by the way the topic of our next podcast, that he has his own fucking picture on the wall. How many boyfriends have you had, or guys that you've dated are literally obsessed with themselves, and that turns a woman off. So
I'm actually really into guys that really love themselves in a way. I need you to be confident and passionate about who the fuck you are.
Right.
If you want to look good, do whatever. Take care of yourself. Take care of your hair, your skin, and whatever. Just don't be a schlump. If anyone knows what a fucking schlump is, don't be a schlump.
It just sounds nice. I don't know what it is.
Urban Dictionary. Don't be a schlump. Look at him. He's a fucking schlump.
I love that.
I don't know how to describe it. I need guys who take care of themselves. Right?
Okay, so I got it. What you're trying to say is, if the man out there is so confident about whatever he does, that he doesn't have to go that extra mile to please you or to get you hooked on. You're just hooked on because, whoever you are.
That to me is so turning
for
on.
Men and women, right?
Yeah. Whoever you are, whatever you do, whatever your taste in music, women, blah, all of that
Sport.
is it doesn't matter. Just be you 100%.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm
and here's where I want to ask you, what turns a woman and a man on? Say, for example, I love books and I love, stories. I love watching stuff. It's always about words and word porn for me and stories. That's what attracts me. Do you think two people can only sustain in the long run if they can be best friends, if they can be talking about
you have to
shit.
sort of be best friends with your partner, don't you? If you're with someone, I think you need to be at a level where you are sort of best friends with one another, but also have that space, She's not your only best friend. She's my girl, he's my guy, we got each other.
Can I be honest here?
Yeah.
I was in I am in a relationship where in the first 1 year I fucked up, and I'm going to be honest, just because I didn't want to have my own friends. I just wanted to give up everybody and just be like, oh my God, it's just you. And he said, listen, if it's going to be like that, it's going to be so toxic. You're never going to grow.
Of each other.
Yeah, not just bored. You're going to fucking invade that person's privacy, right?
Yeah.
And thank God he stuck it out and let me be. And now we're kind of cool with each other and we let each other be. But I think you need to let each other be. Don't fucking be in each other's face all the time.
Yeah,
right?
just don't do that. So I think we drifted off, and let's get back
for
to.
it.
So if you're going to take 40 days to get to know this guy, it's going to give you some perspective, right? So by that time, you have time to go 007 into his shit. Google him, find his high five page from 2009, go and find his awkward page. But when you finally get into this, you're going to definitely want to fuck this guy, right? You're going to want to sleep with him for sure.
But do you think you need to search so much about the person online? Or do you actually get to know the person?
But it's always good to just go online and find out everything about them and make sure they don't have any assault charges or
get that basic shit cleared.
Yeah,
I once, when I was single, dated this guy for just a week, and my friend who's a hacker, a girl, she found out that this guy was married in the UK, had a wife there, and I don't want to tell you how we found out, but we found out, and this guy used to only video call me from his car or his office, never from home. He'd always say I'm sleepy and tired. He had a wife back home, and I was single. He was trying to come to India for a bit. That's the worst sort of shit, man. Cheating somebody, it's always going to come back at you. And if you have a loving wife or a girlfriend at home who has no fucking clue about your fucking shenanigans, I mean, get ready.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're also getting cheated on.
Exactly. You're cheating yourself, man. I mean, this is a big shout out. Anyone who has been cheated on, never underestimate the power of your own self, even if you fucking hated yourself in that process. Get out of it. That person is the one who's done the mistake, not you. I'm sorry. That has to be
that's
said.
true.
And
I have. You're just like dropping bombs, like screw you.
I've done this myself, and I've paid for it. If I've cheated, I have fucking gotten it back.
You made the mistake.
Yes.
You learn from it.
Yes.
Just like go back and don't like learn something, relearn shit. Sometimes it's fine. Make a mistake. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Next, what else?
So I think what we're gonna get into now is where I think what you guys have pretty much been waiting for is, so say you're finally with this guy, right? And if you're gonna end up at his house for the night, always wear good fucking underwear, right?
Always wear good lingerie
now,
anyway.
What you're doing is you need to create
that
first impression or that first episode with your skills for him to want to remember you.
Absolutely.
So you're fucking to impress him.
Yeah.
Let's get this out there.
Isn't that too much pressure? Come on.
I
Why
mean,
can't I wear granny panties, be comfortable, not be
Yeah,
like
but that's
unshaved and uncool, but
yeah, but like this
shouldn't
is
I?
with like a guy that you've been waiting 40
For
like if you've been dating
long.
him wait for 40 days, you better put
Okay,
on
you
good
better
underwear.
put on the best show
Yeah,
that you got.
yeah.
But
Put
don't
on
let the
a fucking
pressure.
show, yeah,
Don't
but
let the pressure.
Don't go like Riley Reid on him because he'll probably like freak out.
What the fuck? And don't ever moan artificially. Don't fake
my
it.
God,
they
don't
always
fake it.
know it.
Oh my
Please
God.
don't do that.
I faked it
Just
so
by
many
you
times.
women doing doesn't mean that you're fucking having a good time. Sometimes you can be silent as fuck and still enjoy it. So
I swear to God. Okay, so say you end up at this guy's house for the night, right? So you have to basically create like a whole teasing system, right? Like, guys, I'm breaking this open for you also. So you're going to know about this, right? So if you get to his house, first of all, if he's a classy guy, he'll offer you a drink or whatever, right? Don't have more than 2 drinks. That's it. That's your limit. Drink it really slowly, hydrate, and pretend like you're really getting into it, right? Like, maybe you are, but just don't drink more than that because then you're just a sloppy hot
or if
mess.
you're getting high, guys, don't get stoned like so bad.
Yeah, don't crossfade and like throw up. Like that's disgusting.
Don't zone out. It can happen. So kindly keep yourself in your senses
Yeah.
as much as you can, just so that you enjoy the
Yeah,
experience.
so now that you've gone post this 2-drink phase, you need to start acting like really sexual with everything, right? But you need to be super subtle about it. So you need to say, breathe sensually or like bend lower and pick up something, which is like really fucking important. Whatever you do, stretch, bend, act like you're into it. Like get really, really into it, right? Now, this is where I'm going to tell you like an acting method that I think everyone should fucking
Yeah, go
practice.
for it. I
called
wanna
the
know.
CPS method, which is basically channeling your inner porn star. What you see...
Oh, that's CPS.
Yeah, it's
Channeling
not like
inner
your
porn
sex is
star,
going to be
okay.
like porn. It's not. Get that out of your head in the first place. But you can put on that sensual show of, you know, lifting your dress a little bit and teasing him. Like, when you do that, you feel so much better about yourself than like anything else, which is something I think you should do, right?
Right.
Don't give in to like your wildest kinks and all of that.
Not at the beginning.
Because if you give in your wildest kinks, bitch, he'll hump you and he'll dump you.
Yeah,
okay? Like,
that's it.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
don't
fucking happen.
just do it immediately and just
You have to make sure shit sits strong and well with him, but let him make the first move. Always.
Are you
Let him-
serious?
Yeah.
I don't think this is true, man. I've made the first
Okay,
move
fine. I think
a bunch of
this
times.
This is what we could like probably differ on.
Yeah.
If you want to make the first move, make it. If you don't want to,
I mean, but
think
don't
you
make the
should.
first move if you don't know if he's into you, because then that's plain awkward. He's like, okay,
You're
bitch, I'm not
yeah.
into you. I don't like you. I mean, only if you get the message.
You're fucking to impress him, but you have to fuck without emotional attachment. You cannot fuck this guy
On the
with
first
emotional
date. Yeah, you
attachment of,
can't.
This is how we're gonna do it when we make babies. No, fuck you. That's not
Yeah,
gonna happen,
exactly.
right? Like, I don't care how hot he is and how much of his sperm you want. Don't be that crazy bitch yet, okay? It's not time.
Yeah.
So
Don't be a crazy bitch ever. That's I've been on the other side of the fence. I've been in a relationship. You being a crazy bitch, you know, fucking mistrusting your boyfriend or your husband all the time, thinking he's always having sex, even if he is. I mean, thinking about it is just gonna fuck with your head. So stop always, you know, like overdoing that bit. I think. Yeah.
So the winning pointer here is pretty much like foreplay, right? So you have to be making
Always.
out. You have to be making out for at least 20 minutes
Before you
and
actually
getting
get
all touchy. And if this guy is straight away going for your boobs, fucking move his hand. Y'all are not kids. You need to take control here of the situation.
It's getting so hot. And guys, you need to know this. I'm going to sweat in all my podcasts. It's just too hot, man.
It's amazing how much Jane is just like perspiring right now.
No, it's just warm. It's just warm.
I think you're just like getting
I'm getting with the groove. So if you see me
we're going to get into something really, really dirty right now, right? We're going to get into the 2 ways of sucking dick for guys and going down on girls, which needs to be 2 way, right?
Yes,
so don't start by being a fucking dictator in bed and giving him too many instructions. But once you guys are going into foreplay, I think we're going to share like one technique with you guys each, okay? So
are you going to give them a technique first?
Yeah. So if you're the kind of girl, so there are 2 kinds of girls, those who give head and those who don't. If you don't give head, it's because you don't fucking know how to. Honestly.
Or you're vegetarian. I've heard this a
lot.
I'm sorry, but I had to say it out there.
It's you don't
nothing
know
against
how to,
the vegans. I swear, nothing against you. But I'm just saying this is what I've heard. A lot of girls, I've spoken to girls. Oh my God, it's like chicken. It's like eating chicken. I'm like, dude, you're not eating.
Oh my God.
I have actually heard this.
Who the hell puts
if you
dick
don't
in their
give
mouth
your guy head,
like
you're not going to
chicken.
get head back. And that's one. And number 2, if both of you are not into it, it's okay. But then
eating chicken. Oh my, I'm going to stick to that one. It's like eating chicken. Okay. So I'm going to get into a simple technique here that is the slurpier, the fucking better.
Okay.
Honestly. Now don't go like spitting and being like on his shit, right? Like, that's fucking disgusting.
Got all the boys in the yard.
Yeah. But you gotta always like, it's always 2 hands and it always starts with a lot of slurp, right? So you have to basically like slurp on it. Like a proper
Are you just telling people how to give a
Yes,
blowjob? Yes,
I am literally sitting
that's
here.
What you're doing.
And everybody fucking knows that Priya's going to sit here and talk about sucking dick for 40 minutes. But no, the slurpier, the better, because the drier, the crier, basically, right?
Oh my God. You have these lines in your head.
I honestly made
for
that up.
crying out loud.
Yeah.
What was that last line? That was very cool.
The drier, the crier.
Oh God. Oh
right?
shit.
So
if you enjoy pleasure and pain.
You need to get really sloppy into it. Because say if your guys are going to have like sex without a condom because you're having protected sex without a condom, which is
saliva,
also possible.
Guys. Lots of it.
You have to get super fucking slurpy, right? And it's always at the slurpy at the top of the head. And don't go straight into fucking deep throating and gagging yourself. That's not cute at all.
That is
eventually
not.
get into that. But the slurpy technique is a hands down.
Sensual.
You slurp on the top of that shit and it'll turn him on more than anything else in the world.
I've also heard that stretch.
Arwen agree with us.
Arwen's like, I don't want to be in this room. I'm not in this room. Boys, the only reason why we're referring to Arwen is he's a metaphor for all the boys watching this. I mean, I don't know what you guys enjoy. Maybe you should leave us some comments on the MissBehaved podcast social handles. What do you like in a girl? I've seen in a lot of movies that you just don't like it plain missionary. You want to experiment. You want to explore. Because if you can't explore with one girl, then you're going to go and explore with many others. So girls, if you want to keep your man, honestly, speak about these things. See what he likes, what he's into, because men have hearts and dicks at the same time. So if you want a relationship with them that's long term, I think, it has to be slurpy, not just the blowjob bit of it, but also, I don't know if it's going to sound too much, but in a relationship, in any relationship, I think there has to be that slurpiness quotient.
There has to be.
That
I think the
stickiness
more
factor.
committed you are in a relationship, the more head your boy
get
should
into each other so much that you don't want
slurp
another.
each other.
Yeah.
Wet,
scope each other out.
Leave a snail trail, leave whatever you have.
Yeah, I mean, and then, if you're wondering, how 50 Shades happens only in the books, it actually happens in life. If you know how to keep your man hooked, and if you understand him, and if you talk about, other hot women and maybe even them slurping on them for all you care. These are fetishes and fantasies that you talk about if you have it. Talk about it to keep it going.
Yeah. So, moving forward, do you want to talk about like a certain technique of yours?
I think, I'm not really going to give a technique which is sexual.
Just give a pointer.
I'm just going to give a pointer. I feel, and I'm going to give it more from the perspective of someone who's already in a relationship, right? Because I'm in one, and all I want to say is that, if you want to keep any relationship going, the sexuality of the two people have to vibe, which means if one is asexual, for example, right? And the other is hypersexual, it's not going to work.
Oh, is this your friend?
This is maybe me. I don't know.
No, this is that friend of yours.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my God. This is where I blanked out. But no, all I'm trying to say is that you also, if one is hypersexual and the other is hypersexual as well, it goes well. So while a lot of people say that romance is beyond sex, let me tell you, if you love somebody, you will love their body, you will love their soul, you will love to make to them. And so if you want to do that and keep a relationship going on for a long time, if you're wondering how our parents and grandparents did it, maybe they're not doing it still. I think my parents still are, and if they watch this, they're going to
Everybody's fucking, guys. Let's just make this clear.
Yeah, it's happening,
Everybody's
right?
fucking. You're
it's
doing
happening.
it, I'm doing it, we're all doing it.
Yeah, but it's also possible. So it's a shout out to those who don't think sex is that important. It's important, but not that much. But you have to vibe in an intellectual sort of a way, then have something that you vibe with on both sides that is equal for, if not completely equal, at least, it can't be poles apart. Like if one person is asexual and the other is hyper, or if one is bisexual and the other is completely straight, these are conversations you need to have, and sometimes you never know. I mean, you got to understand your relationship by actually finding out how you vibe with that other person, because that's what I think keeps you going for the long run. That's it. That's my point. It's not really a sexual technique. It's
but I get
relationship
it.
technique.
That's a very good, honest point to talk about. I'm just a dirty
if you want to
ass
give
person.
head, if you want to get head, give head. I'm saying this in your terms.
Yeah, if you want to get head, you have to give head. You can't just sit there. Like, women, stop laying on your backs and expecting everything to fucking happen. Like, go out there and make him happy, dude. Don't be like, oh no, it's disgusting. It's not fucking disgusting. Your face is fucking disgusting. Okay, like
if you're not going to give it to him, believe me, or if you're not going to give it to her, at one point they're going to go searching for it outside, and so it's better you talk to the person. And here's a big, I'm so sorry, I'll have to say this. I know a friend whose partner is not able to satisfy her sexually, but they have been in love for the longest period of time, and they still make it work because they have conversations, they go to therapy, they try and see what they can do for each other, and they've gone to the extent of even letting the other partner explore sexually outside within the confines of this relationship, which means
cuckolding couples.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever is your shit, but the whole point is talk about it to your partner.
Yeah. Okay, so now that you're pretty much past the kissing and the foreplay and you've gone past the blowjob and you've gotten head, we'll share with guys post this how to finger girls as well. So somewhere post like your second or your third fuck. Don't keep like fucking in like missionary or doggy or all that basic shit. Like, do this thing, right, where he's holding you from behind and your legs are locked between his legs, right, and your back is a little arched. It hurts a little at first, but then you get used to it. But then that's how you do it. And then you
What's this position called? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what the fuck it's called. I call it the lazy fuck.
Lazy fuck or the daisy fuck? The lazy fuck.
The lazy fuck.
Oh,
it's like
I thought the lazy
usually
fuck
on your
was...
side and you do it. But it feels great, right? So if he's a quick comer, don't fucking call him back because he's a piece of shit.
Or she fucking comes too soon.
Instead of like... So when you fuck him sideways, I guarantee you it's going to get him so much hornier than you probably fucking know, right?
I like it too.
And this is like a tip that I would share with you.
I thought this is called spooning anyway.
Like the spooning fuck. I don't know. I call it the lazy fuck anyways.
The lazy fuck,
so, if you're doing this, just when he's about to like come or he's on the verge of it, you have to pull out that fucking condom. And if you're not fucking with a condom, then just pull out. You have to pull out that fucking condom and let this guy then like jerk him off a little bit. And let him come on your face or let him come in your mouth. It's not a big deal. It doesn't taste half as bad. If you fucking swallow, the boy will fucking follow. Okay, honestly. But that's what you should do. And I swear, when you're moaning and you're giving blowjobs, it's like the hottest thing ever. Like, guys are super into that. They like it. They think it's very attractive as well. But don't be like, I got something in my mouth and I'm trying to knock you.
Don't overact. Don't be a porn star. Channelize your inner porn star to an
Channelize
extent.
your inner porn star, but stop expecting that porn standard.
Exactly.
You're not gonna
let me tell you, guys and girls, real sex is never what you see in porn. Ever.
Exactly.
Which is why we still watch it, because, it's fantasy. It's nice to watch. Maybe there are some really good looking people who look like that while they're doing it, but feelings, that's a whole new chapter altogether.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
if you swallow, he will follow. I like that.
But if you're not comfortable with swallowing because you just think like cum has a certain spunky taste to it, it really doesn't. Like, I guess you can just go to the bathroom like quietly and spit it out and not be such a like I want to throw up or like don't be like that. Like, I hate it when women. I'll let you know later. But don't be like that. Like, don't be like that. It's in my hair. It's in my eye. Like, bitch, you were made.
Oh, dude, but I've heard. I'm so sorry. I'm going to cut this
it.
very sexy conversation right now. It happened to a friend, a girl, it went into her eyes, and she had some serious issues for the next
Oh my God,
1
you
hour.
probably had
Yeah,
something
you mean you have to be
wrong
really
with this
careful.
girl.
Ladies, keep your eyes closed, because if that shit splatters into your eye, there can be like, you might need to go to a doctor. So just be very careful when you're doing this shit. The people who have broken penises
Look
and
at Arwen. He's just like,
and
Arwen's
like
just sitting there sneaky, like he knows something.
there can be accidents, guys. So just be a little careful. Don't get overtly so physical that you're breaking each other's bones and private parts. Just be a little sensuous.
Yeah, just don't hurt each other.
make
Like,
love.
don't hurt yourselves. Don't hurt each other.
Unless
okay?
hurting each other is what you like. If you're into BDSM, into that kind of shit, then yeah, it's cool.
That's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah.
But let's get into this for guys right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fingering. 60% of men don't know how to finger, and they act like, oh, I'm doing such a good job.
Can I change that number? I think it's 98%.
Oh.
They don't know it.
Arwen, do you
They
agree
don't
with
know
us?
it. No idea. Or you never know. But
it's like
they say
men
musicians are
don't
good.
know.
That's what I've heard, because they're
Because they're good with their
strings.
fingers.
Yeah, I've heard that
so
shit. But
Arwen just like, oh my God. But still, like, I think if you're
you never know. Guys in IT, they're always with their mouse as well, and they're like Excel sheets. So
But
maybe
you know what's really annoying is
maybe
that
it's easy.
sometimes when guys go down on girls, say it just with your hands, they do this thing which is like the spider webbing, right? So you put both fingers in, and then you're just like, fucking, that is
always
so uncomfortable.
annoying. It hurts. It
Don't
hurts.
fucking ever do that.
Yeah, don't go all, don't go to
She's
war
not
with this
South
woman,
Korea.
right?
Don't fucking
do
do that,
surgical strikes on her, you know what,
Yeah,
right?
like
It doesn't.
stop going both fingers in and
Yeah.
thinking you're like,
I mean,
don't know.
and metaphorically speaking, don't do this to her even in life. Don't be obsessed. Don't say, don't show your cleavage when you walk out. Don't, talk to this man who's your colleague. Don't fucking just be an assault to a woman on her
Yeah.
senses, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially.
I have a friend who, actually not a friend, I know this person who was, so she waited like 1.5 years to hook up with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really into him, and she did everything to like entice him, and then he finally came to town and he hooked up with her, right?
And then?
And say 2-3 minutes into making out, he started like
Oh my God.
spider webbing her. And she asked him to get the fuck out of her house. She was like, leave.
That's it. After one and
She
a
was
half
like-
years.
Yeah, she's like, I waited 1.5 years for the most disappointing 10 minutes of my life.
Shit.
And she
yeah.
was like, leave, because you did such a bad fucking job.
Yeah, don't
which is
just hurt the
something-
woman. I mean, unless she's into it and you guys have some consensual sort of a pattern going on, don't hurt a woman.
Yeah.
And women, I don't know.
It's
I don't
not
think.
hot. Stop pretending like you know what you're doing. You
Can
don't know
I
what the fuck
say
you're
I
doing.
like
Give
it?
instructions.
I like pain. But yeah, I would hate it if it's a person I have no idea about. Yeah, you get there.
Yeah,
You eventually get there with someone. I mean,
so I
that's
think it's important to like start
consensual.
at the clit, which is it.
Right.
And when men say we can't find the clit, how the fuck do you not find the clit? Like, come on.
it's easy.
Is it easy? Do you have a hard time finding the clit, Arwen? No. Arwen knows where everything's at.
Yeah, he's in his 30s, just like I am. So I guess, we've kind of figured our shit out. But I'm sure, you do this a couple of
Yeah.
times when you're younger,
You
you'll
have
know.
to like make it really wet and always start at the clit and then play up and then like stroke the girl, right? And it's not in like side to side motion. It's not a fucking buzzer. It's always in
circular.
like circular.
Yes.
It's anti-clockwise actually. It's not even clockwise, because anti-clockwise is something that your body is not as used to. That's something you
Really?
should
Oh,
know.
I didn't know about that.
Called Sherman, and tell Sherman I said so.
Yeah, Sherman knows his shit. Clockwise,
But
anti-clockwise.
you know what
it
the
doesn't
hottest
matter.
thing is, guys? If you're like basically fingering a girl and you want to like get her even more wet, put your fucking hands in her mouth. She'll know what to do. Like, she'll know what to do. Like, put both your hands.
Simulate
with
it,
one finger.
right, basically.
Yeah, simulate it and go like, it's a rotate in and out, right? With one finger. It's not both fingers. And
Slow,
if
steady,
it's not as
let it
wet,
get
like,
wet.
just
Exactly.
spit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
fucking spit in
Use
it. Like,
your
it's
saliva.
not a big deal.
You're eating her any which way, so you
Yeah,
know
you're
how
gonna
to eat,
her out.
right?
Even if you're not, just fucking spit in it. It's not a big
Yeah,
deal, right?
right.
Like, it's
Wow, we're in this so deep.
use one finger at a time, and please fucking go down on her if she went down on you. Don't be a little bitch boy. Don't make us come find you and slap you.
Yeah, because if you're getting it, you got to give it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
How do you know so much about this
Oh,
shit?
you know, this is one thing that I want to also point out is cut your fucking nails. Like, clip your nails. Some guys
ladies,
don't
yes,
do that.
Yes.
And it's
ladies
not
as well.
nice.
If you have long
Yeah.
nails, just be careful.
If you've
man.
got long nails and you stick your finger up a guy's ass, like, it's
Oh.
not comfortable. Because some guys are actually into that. But you know what's weird?
Do they have to be bi-curious for that, or is it just...
No, I think it's everyone's
It's just a
preference.
fetish, that's
I think
it.
it's just a fetish.
Okay, cool.
Like, I know completely straight people who have that fetish.
Right.
Which is there. But you cut your nails, and you know when you go down on her, you should like look up at her a little every now and then to see her face, because she's looking at you, and that's the hottest
It's
thing.
not just
But
physical
don't, like,
for us.
stare at her like,
Yeah,
you know,
make
you're
her
like gorging
uncomfortable.
into her soul
Yeah.
like Kermit the fucking frog.
Yeah.
Fucking weird face.
Find that warm body sort of an equation with her, and always be in that sort of a cocoon.
Make out with her and let her moan.
Yes, guys, make
in
out.
your
I can't
fucking
emphasize
mouth.
enough.
Like, let her moan in your mouth.
You want to get
It's
into...
the hottest thing for you and her.
Yeah.
Right? So, let's get into questions.
Okay. I'm so like enthralled by this, because, you know, you have like very definitive pointers.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, you know, from the years that I'm going to always pull this shit over you. I have years of experience. I'm just kidding.
No, that's
I'm just,
great, because I love how I can just take these tips from you. And
Yeah.
I don't know something.
I mean, I'm
It's
saying...
like, how do I deal with people? Like, it's like they don't ever grow up, Priya.
Yeah, I think men, and especially boys that you're in love with, always, there are lots of mama's boys out there, and there are lots of nice guys out there as well. But if you really want to have a relationship that goes long term, what really turns anybody on, and take notes down on this, is to be consistent, to be communicative, to be open, to be, open to possibilities, to be, somebody who is not basically a prude. You got to be open to new experiences. You got to understand that your partner has her own fantasies, or if you're
talk
a
it
girl.
out. Like, discuss your fantasies and your
Yeah.
fetishes.
Whatever
Honestly,
it is.
I
Whether
know
it's finger in the ass or in the ear hole, or, it's just a feet fetish. Maybe it's not even, we have to talk about that. There are some asexual fetishes as well, I think, that turn people on. Like, I have to tell you this. What turns me on, for me, because I'm an artist and I read, is people who can say good stories and can engage with me there. So I think, what turns many women on is
an intellectual man who knows how to type in complete English and
Yes.
knows what the fuck he's saying.
Exactly. Finish your sentences.
If
spell
you
them
don't
out.
know, ask. If you don't ask, you will never know. Just
Exactly.
don't come here spitting knowledge to me like
So,
you think you know
I mean,
something.
you might be somebody who loves your PS4 and loves your, whatever it is that you do. You may make music, you may make money, you may be a businessman, you may be a sports star. Guys, this is something that a girl likes in you, no matter how hot you are or how non-hot you are. It's commitment, love, and some sort of a real gentlemanly sort of a way. So even if you want to have a one-night stand, and you be honest about it, right? I think women appreciate honesty. Be yourself. Don't be a fucking dick. And this goes to women as well. Don't be a dick. Don't lead the man on, and then, once he's all like wet
Oh
for
my
you.
God, the thirst traps. Like,
Yeah.
women,
Yes.
it's cute to tease once in a while, but don't be a fucking
tease forever.
cock block Karthika. You know, I don't know
You
any
say
Karthika.
cock block Karthika, poor Karthika, wherever she is
I
out
don't
there.
even know who the fuck Karthika is, but like, don't be a cock block Karthika.
Yeah,
guys.
if you like someone, take it there, but don't ghost them without telling them.
Oh yeah, don't ghost people. That's fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. I mean, if they're crazy, then ghost them, but don't
Yeah.
actually ghost
So these are
someone.
things that we wanted to
We're
talk
contradictive
about.
as shit, okay?
Yeah,
So
we might come back and tell you, ghost somebody. But whatever it is, these are things that we want to talk about on this podcast. What else are we talking about? Anything important?
Just questions. We need to get into questions
Yes.
of the week.
Yes.
So we have like one definitive question this week.
Right. All right, guys. So it's question time, and this is something that has come to us from one of our followers, and we picked it up because I think it's very relevant. Question is, if you're with somebody you really like and you've gone past all that, basic interfacing, but somehow on that particular day, you're not able to turn that person on, the girl or the guy on, and you really want to get with it, but it's not happening. How do you do it? Maybe you want to answer this first.
Stimulation for me, I think first of all starts off with being mental, right? Like I have to be mentally stimulated by you, even if it's in the moment, right? I have to be aroused by you as a person. Otherwise, I just don't think it's going to work for me. So for me, before it gets wet like down there, you have to get me wet up there.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a song that talks about licking a person's brains. I believe that if you're not able to emotionally and intellectually connect, you're not going to. So if you want to get it like fast track, you need to finger the girl, but you also need to understand what she is going through at that moment in her life.
Very true. Very, very
and
true.
whatever she likes. Like, for example, I like Michelle Morone right now. And so to role play that with my boyfriend, thinking of those scenes, it's not wrong, guys.
Baby.
It's not. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the best fucking thing, honestly.
You think about somebody, and everybody, honestly, who's thinking about only one person while you're having sex with one person for a very long time, right?
I think people actually fuck people and think about other people.
It's always happening, man, and it's okay.
I've actually done that in one relationship a couple of years ago.
Well, and try being honest about it to your partner, if at all that happens.
No,
in the
I
future.
was a lying ass bitch. I was thinking about someone else because the sex was so bad. But this was a few years ago. The sex was bad, and I was just thinking about someone else, and I couldn't tell him because he was.
Even if the sex is good, let me tell you, down the line, you can't have a relationship going on with just the two of you. I mean, you got to be really ridiculously in love. Even then, I think, you need to bring that sort of interesting spice to the bedroom. So either think of someone else, a real person or whatever, or just connect with her or him. I mean, at a level which only you two will understand. Maybe you both share playlist preferences. Maybe you both share lighting preferences.
That's the thing. I think hooking up with someone, or even if it's with your girlfriend or like someone you've known, your wife, everything has to be sort of an experience, right?
Exactly.
So get your lighting correct, get your mood correct, get
your
the food
positions
correct,
right,
get your positions, get everything, get like an entire place that is set up for your comfort and her comfort.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
me, I personally love being in a meditative, calm state where my energy is like pretty much matching the other guy's energy, and that to me is important.
Yeah.
But I hate I've done it, but I hate like quickies or like...
Which is why they say smoking up and sex is a great combination.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it slows everything down. If you are into that is. But if you're
really
not,
into that,
if you're
get
not,
high,
it's still okay.
Suck some dick.
Yeah.
Eat some pussy,
It's
be
alright.
fucking
Get into
happy.
the zone whichever way you'd like, but get into the zone in just the right way. Connect with a person, find that switch, and every time you have that switch, it might be a forever evolving sort of a switch, but get that, and intellectually when you connect, even when you are going to orgasm, ultimately your brain is the one that is releasing all those oxytocins and feel good hormones. And in lockdown, guys,
feel good hormones.
Feel good, whether
what
it's
you
with
need.
yourself, even if it's a relationship with your own hand, understand that you need some sort of a stimulation for yourself. So I would just say, find that right sort
Find
of
what
connect.
you like. So basically,
Yes.
this is the thing, right? Is that when you're getting with someone, sometimes they don't know what you like. There's nothing wrong in like instructing them. Don't dictate them and be like, no, you're doing this wrong. Don't fucking scream at him and make him uncomfortable. But teach him. There's nothing bad in having to teach him, because then he's gonna want to learn and do that for you.
Can I be bad
And
teacher? Have you watched that movie?
I
Cameron
love that
Diaz.
teacher.
Oh my
Cameron
God.
Diaz
Yeah.
is my forever.
Yeah,
the hottest
we lust
woman on the
after
fucking
women
planet.
sometimes more than we do men, but that doesn't make us straight or bi or whatever. But yeah,
That just makes us people.
what
Just
turns
horny
us
fucking
on
people.
is always, this is my parting statement on this podcast, what turns me on, and I think what should turn most women and men on eventually, not just for hooking up, but for the long term, is by understanding what really ticks the other person, in the right boxes. Maybe if you tell it to somebody else, you're like, there's an asshole fingering, thing that he likes or she likes, or whatever the fuck is your fetish, it's fine. But communicate. Maybe for somebody, it's not even, I know somebody.
Spice it up. Like, use some toys sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Use some toys. That's fine. Or, this might be controversial, but some people get turned on when they're watching the same sort of TV series. Like, my boyfriend and I have that. We have similar sort of tastes in what we watch. So watching something like really gruesome and, murder, and it gets us all.
Be honest. Did you fuck on the couch after you watched 365?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what we have time for? What's your parting statement on the podcast?
What is my what?
Parting statement.
My parting statement for this podcast is be safe, guys. Don't be hooking up with randos. Know what the fuck you want, even in a hookup. Don't get your emotional attachment. Don't be wifey. MILF squad for real. Like, stop being wifey to these people. Stop being wifey
Even when
to
you
these
are
boys.
wife, right?
Yeah, even when you are. Like, keep the passion fresh. Keep the sex fresh. Keep the honeymoon phase on
Keep the
forever.
relationship alive. Communicate, be with each other, don't ghost each other. And whether it's a relationship or a hookup, it's bound to turn each other on. And the minute it stops turning you on, it doesn't mean it ends there. Work on a relationship. Don't quit on a marriage or a relationship just because it's not working in that period. Somebody could be going through something physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, financially. So be there for the person and talk. And if it there's no way you can get it sorted, get out of it. But at the same time,
get out of it. Don't take that shit. If you're not
Yeah.
happy, actually just don't take that shit.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all I guess we have for today. This was a good recording session for us in general. Guys, follow us on different social media pages. You can follow us on the Misbehave podcast page on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. Follow our personal pages. That is Jane_Jakumar and Priya_Rongan. And we will see you guys next time
MILF
with
Squad.
an interesting fucking episode. MILF Squad,
Love you guys,
Misbehave
okay?
Squad. We
And
love you
before we
guys.
go, it's not always just going to be about sex. We are going to talk about scandals and controversies and things you'd like to talk about. So maybe just leave us a comment if you're
Share your
interested.
stories with us.
Yeah, it's okay.
We kiss and tell everybody.
Yeah.
But then,
Kind of, right? We don't just say names, so we keep your
Yeah.
anonymity intact. We respect your privacy, but yeah, don't judge any book by its cover. And this cover right now is not glam, but it's just real, okay?
It's just
Keep it real.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.